poetry like plays is meant to be performed. So today I wanted to talk about that a little bit more in context of the children's book series Willow the Wanderer, which we are producing. I am the author and my partner Darren Price is the illustrator. So Willow the Wanderer is what you would call a narrative poem. So there are poems, there are pieces of work written in verse, and they tell a story. So hence the term narrative poems. Now, there's a lot of freedom in how you write and present your narrative poem, as there is in creative arts in general. So there is no one rule, but the common features of a narrative poem is that there's a rhythm to it, and then there's typically, especially when you're writing for children, there can be rhyme throughout it as well. So those are the two features that I actually really like about narrative poems. So when I started developing this series, I made sure it was there, and we carried it through in all the books we've written since. The thing about, and again, rhythm, it can sort of vary. With the first book, Willow the Wanderer, it was a very simple narrative. The narrative arc was fairly straightforward, and that's because we were writing for a fairly younger age group, say between 3 to 5. So, there's two parts to the narrative. There's a repeating verse, and that verse sort of dictated the rhythm or the meter that the poem was written in. And there was a second part where Willow would go to a place and find hidden creatures in the illustrations. And so that's where the meter varied, because it sort of switched into a counting mode because this book, it was also helping little ones, or is also helping little ones learn how to count. So this was probably the simplest structure, the most straightforward, the most structured, and it's really good, and it really works well for our young kids. But as we kind of progressed on the narratives, because one of the things we want to do with Willow the Wanderer books, or one of the main things we wanted to do, was to share wisdom, timeless lessons about life and living that most of us learn very late in life. So the motivation for developing these books was to create really engaging stories that also convey through the stories some timeless wisdom about life and living. And as we developed the series and went to book 2, book 3, and book 4, the narratives became more complex, because the wisdom that we started dealing with became more nuanced.